0.5 seconds, then at 500 meters, it goes up to 2.5 mm plus 2 ppm part per minute. But for 1 second, I will go for 4 mm plus 2 ppm.
At the distance.
This is at 500 meters.
500.
Yeah. Lesser will be.
Yes, for mine, it's just more, I think I touched on it earlier a little bit, just making sure you take a lot of readings. It's always good to take more than not enough, right? Just can't stress enough that the zero rating is very important. So often just take it, coming out of the box, when you get on the site, before you saturate, after you saturate, put it down the hole, take a reading before you grout. Monitor it during grouting so you don't overpressurize it. Especially if it's a deep hole, you want to probably stage grout so you don't overrange the piezometer. Which also leads to another point of just making sure you select the correct range. So have that in mind when you're working through these installations. When you're purchasing the instrument. So anyway, that's all I want.
I have a question for Greta. In your opinion, or what you have seen, the big questions that a very important measurement that we need for all tailings facilities around the world is actually evaporation. So in these new compact equipment, how do you do the evaporation? Because you don't actually have a pan, right?
No, and we also have pans to be installed with the station, but we also have the calculation on board of our data logger to calculate the evaporation.
And you have a wind speed and so on, so you can actually calculate. Okay, well, that's good. Any other questions? I'll in the interest of time, 2 more questions, please.
I will ask you questions.
There's a microphone there, and then we'll let you the final question.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mine is just a comment first about the drone, because we have been using drones for visual inspections, as-built survey using a LiDAR and photogrammetry. And more recently, we've got attachment for bathymetric survey as well. That drone has been proved to be a very effective and tool. That's my comments in terms of questions. I think it's for Pierre. It's about IPI and shape array influencers. So if you can choose one of those as your preferred ones, which one might be? Because according to we have been used both of them, and then sometimes shape array proves to be more effective because we can measure with a high resolution and more complex shear zones, geological structures. So, but what might be your suggestion or opinion around these types?
Well, what you
Unbiased.
Yeah, unbiased, of course.
Microphone.
Well, what you said makes sense indeed for the shape array, that because if the till segments are shorter, then you can evaluate better the shape of the displacements that are taking place inside the ground mass. Very often we say that in-place kilometers are used in situations where you want to confirm that there is no displacement. So they might be a bit more towards civil infrastructure, where when you're doing vertical retaining wall and things like that, where you want to prove that the ground is not moving because there's a building behind. In mining situations, you also want to confirm that there is no displacements, but there might be higher displacements. So you will then prefer to have a system that can, in case it happens, be able to measure more deformation. And if the deformation is localized, then you'll be happy that you have short segments, because then again you'll be able to measure more. Even if there is localized deformation, whereas an in-place inclinometer, if you use long segments like 2 meter or 3 meter, very soon it will touch the casing wall, and then the measurement will be correct. So little displacement, IPI, shape arrays in case of, or till segments in case of possibility of larger distance.
And the last question for the panel.
So is it about inclinometer? So we had a query from Indian company. So they want to install the inclinometer in a west rock pile, which is a loose and fragmented one. So my question is whether it's feasible. Firstly, it's difficult to drill it because if you sometimes the boulder and metal cave into the hole. But even if you do it, whether inclinometer can give good readings in a west rock pile. That is the question.
In case of this rock piles, well, we mentioned sonic drilling. I don't know if it's very available in India or not, but that might be a drill rig that's a little bit more suitable for installing a lithium armor casing into a waste pile. The other idea that you can keep in mind is to leave the casing in the borehole. And then, because it will be an issue when you will be pulling out the casing to be able to keep the armor casing in place, because you're afraid of collapsing of the hole. So an idea to consider is to leave the steel casing into the hole, and then install and grout the armor casing into that steel casing.
Yeah. And we've done that. You grout actually between the steel casing and the inclinometer casing, and the original borehole. We did that actually in northern Canada, in northern Manitoba. Definitely double core. So you go with a casing and you drill inside the casing with another one. So you're actually extracting what you get. So you definitely need double coring. So that's very expensive indeed, but in order for your hole not to collapse, you have to have that.
But sonic drilling, I think, may not be appropriate because the west rock pile might have a huge boulders, a very hard rock, and sometimes very small soils now.
Yeah, I personally didn't use sonic drilling in waste rock piles, but definitely you can use other methods for coring, and but definitely we had two, one inside the other one, so that you don't collapse. You keep the hole open. Did you leave the steel in the ground permanently? Steel casing? In that particular case, we actually removed the casing with an actual. We had a small crane, so we had to pull it out.
Yeah, we've done that in Kenya, where we leave the steel casing in the ground, install the shape brake casing, and then as you grout, the 2, 3, 5 minute grout lifts, you pull the steel out at the same time.
Yes.
That way, where if you have too much grout, the friction on the shape brake casing actually lifts everything out at the same time.
Yeah. You keep it a low mix, low.
Very
high plastic
mix.
Yeah.
And you pull the steel casing out of the ground as you are grouting, so that you don't create too much friction in the shape casing.
Yeah. I was referring when you're actually drilling before you put the shaper, you need to go in and then you go with the second one to remove all the fragments.
Yeah, because our rock fill in Cadia is very simple. It comes from a waste rock dump, and we have boulders up to 5 meters or 3 meters. And it's very loose when it's recently placed, so we've had a lot of issues, but you have to.
Yeah.
We've used diamond drill,
drill,
2x2. And even then, the whole will collapse. So it's very slow and expensive.
We actually, I think in that particular project, we estimate put a budget of 50% more for drilling into a waste rock pile. We had a lot of lost casings in the waste rock pile. So pretty expensive. Thank you, everybody. Let's take the panel one more time. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. And pick up tomorrow, maybe.
Goodbye, Sam. See you soon.
Yeah, goodbye. Thanks, Pierre.
I think he wants to get a photo.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you all. It was a pleasure to join in this way.
Asking for
Group photo. Group photo.
the panel.
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Sorry. Please.
Everybody have
While they're getting organised for this panel photograph, just going to say that I think it's a bit late in the day to do our next exercise. So I'm going to cancel that, but that's homework for you to do tonight to take your sheets home and think about what sort of instrumentation you'd put in your design based on what you've heard this afternoon. But there is one more thing I want to do as soon as the photograph's finished. Well, no. Okay. As soon as the photograph is over, I want to get Mr. Rakesh Kumar Yadav to come up to the front. Okay.
Please, around once again.
Yeah.
Once again, now that this photograph's finished, I'd like Mr. Rakesh Kumar Yadav to come up here to the podium. And Annika is going to make a presentation to you.
No, not really another presentation, but we really want to thank you for the excellent site visit that we went to 2 days ago. So this is to show our appreciation.
And, okay. Yeah, but the important thing is that the USB stick you've been given has got all the ICOLD tailings related bulletins on it, so you can pass them on.
Just to know about, yeah. What is it?
What the certificate says is that what the Danto has done is in the spirit of psychology, sharing knowledge. But thank you very much. Okay. With you and come back tomorrow with
Can you start tomorrow only? Just to